Uh, I'm live on YouTube for the very first time. Not the first time in the history of the show, but one of the first times in a long time. We're live on YouTube before we are on Facebook Live. We're also pulling up right now, and we're going to do it right now, Facebook Live. And we are live on Facebook Live. We are live on Comedy Schools YouTube. And we are live, Comedy Schools, RadioNetwork.com. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Living on a Thin Line with Tony Vicich. I am Tony Vicich. We come to you 6 days a week at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We are your daily distraction from all the anger, anxiety, weirdness, and hoopla in the world today. We come to you on 3 platforms. The show is based around 3 things. Your questions and comments right here on the aforementioned social media sites, and we will question and comment back. We usually have some knick-knack or doodad that we try to weave a personal story around, autograph, memorabilia. And we recommend one artist or one piece of music based on our vast vinyl album and CD collection. Hello to Champ de Blasio. Hello to Tina and Mike Lawson. The Living on a Thin Line community is beginning to gather. Like we like to say, this isn't a podcast. It is a community. If you're looking on YouTube, you're seeing on the periphery of your screen my grandson Sullivan doing some grandson dance.
I was falling, so now I have a talent.
He was falling, of not falling.
Nope.
What?
Opening drawers with my feet.
He can open drawers with his feet, ladies and gentlemen. Who says that my influence is not a major factor in people's lives? Just a few short years ago, this young man, come here, show me your face. Show me your face. There you go, all the way in. This young man,
the trash.
This young man right here could not open drawers with his feet, but now he can. Isn't that amazing? All right, Sullivan, thank you.
You forgot about what the show really is about.
What is the show really about?
So it was kind of based around jokes.
Jokes.
But you barely use them anymore.
Kids. You gotta love them. That's right. The show was, but we do have a lot of cool stuff here. A couple of announcements before we move forward. We will not be on the air tomorrow, Friday, nor on Saturday. Normally, we're not on Saturday, but we will be on tomorrow. We have a minor personal matter, nothing for you to get in a titter about, or a Twitter, or a kerfluffle, but a minor situation that we're dealing with, and we're going to deal with it tomorrow. And so we will not be on the air. I'm going in for a minor procedure, and I'll be all doped up. Some of you might like that. So we go, hey, let's see him all doped up. What was he like in 1983? It's the wrong kind of dope. Anyway, so that's an announcement. Over the weekend, I'm going to create the Zoom package that's going to allow you, our friends, family, and listeners, to be in the room with us New Year's Eve at JP's Comedy Club, jpscomedyclub.com. 860 East Warner Road, Gilbert, Arizona. We're going to do a great New Year's Eve show. It's going to be Jim Perry, Tony Vicich, Deanne Kincaid, and a host of others. It's going to be a great show. Starts at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, ends 9 p.m. Mountain Time, when we will then do a North American countdown for one and all. So if you're in the greater Phoenix area and you would like to see really good comedy, I'm not going to call it great comedy because, I'm on the show and I get funny about that sort of thing. Great comedy, New Year's Eve, and you don't want to go out. And a lot of people don't want to go out New Year's Eve anyway because it's just a bunch of weirdos out, vampires smashing their cars into one another. Or if you are out of state or out of our region, but you still want to see a live show, we're going to have a Zoom link set up for you where tickets will go on sale Monday, where you'll be able to see the New Year's Eve show with Jim Perry and Tony Vicich. So those are kind of cool announcements. I saw that one of the drug manufacturers, and by and large, look, I realize people make mistakes, and people make mistakes and large companies make mistakes, but this is not pandemic related. A drug manufacturer mixed up erectile dysfunction pills with depression pills. So one pill is supposed to alleviate depression. The other one would alleviate erectile dysfunction, and mix them up, which means right now there's thousands of men who can't get a hard on, but they're pretty darn happy about it. So that's going on in the world today. Pfizer, I guess, are the independent council of councils of wise men who sit on high are trying to decide right now if through emergency youth authorization, the vaccine can begin to be rolled out. I am here to tell you right now that at my very first opportunity to take the vaccine, I'm going to take it. If I could take it live on air, if they'll let me Facebook Live me getting the vaccine, I'm going to do it. This is one of the most important things that since World War II, when hundreds and thousands of men, primarily men at that time, lined up right after December 7th to join the military to fight in the greatest conflict of the 20th century, the one where the good guys actually won. I don't know if that's been the case since.
Do not forget about the woman.
Yeah, I won't forget about the woman. Well, this was a long time ago. Okay. Has there been a greater call for Americans to come together to do something good for their country? So, and you know what? And you won't be shot by a German. So those guys on December 8th, 1941, December 9th, 1941, and through they joined up en masse to go fight in Europe and in the Pacific. They risked the possibility of being shot by a German or shot by a Japanese guy. You will not be shot by a German or a Japanese guy or a member of the Viet Cong or a North Korean or anyone, if you take the vaccine. If you take, as they're calling it in England, the jab. So the first chance I get to take it, I'm taking it. This is too big of a deal. This has been tearing the country apart. It's destroying the economy. It's tearing us apart as people. We got to get this vaccine going. We've got to get this situation out of the way so we can get back to the normal insanity that was the United States prior to March. Yes, Sullivan?
Because everything just now that gives us joy, just is canceled, and it just makes us want to move to like the center of space. Yeah. Like we just don't want to be there anymore.
Sullivan just said that we got to do this because right now everything that gives us joy is canceled. So I don't think that's ever been better put right now.
Just have to go to space forever.
We'll go to space.
I mean,
that's your choices.
Either we stay, either we wait until the vaccine comes, we just keep getting sick until the world ends, or we just
go to space.
Or there's never was a vaccine. We'll just have to wait. We would just have to wait until we would be able to get on Mars.
Yeah. So
like literally,
Sullivan is informing us, and I think he's correct, that our choices are: if we don't take the vaccine, then everybody dies and the world ends, or we go to space. We'd all have to move to Mars. Okay, but even then, we'd be taking the disease with us, so we got to take this vaccine.
Yes.
So this vaccine is important. So when you get a chance to take it, take it. Okay, don't listen to all the hoo-ha. Vaccines have done more to save human beings than any single other thing in the history of this planet.
Yeah, don't listen to people who say it'll make you 20 years younger if you get it.
Well, you know what? Sullivan said, don't listen to people who said it'll make you 20 years younger if you get it. Let me say this. If by chance the vaccine would make me 20 years younger, I'll double shot it. Dude, I'll get it from a dude. Like if I have a hard time getting it, I still got some hookup somewhere. I'll find someone's got the hookup. You know, I'll find someone down in Central Phoenix or in South Scottsdale and go, hey, you got any of that good vaccine? What do you got? You got some of that? I'll get Bob Rocky. Bob Rocky will get me he's not watching right now. He's working. Bob Rocky, very funny man, regularly appears at JP's Comedy Club and all Tony Vicich productions. He'd be able to give me the hookup for that. So, okay, just letting you know. Right now, as far as I know, they are debating whether to roll it out. Also, I just got to say, you know, I don't mind stupidity. I have done stupid things. Everyone I know has done stupid things. But what I can't get countenance, what I can't abide, what I cannot let stand is willful stupidity. Willful stupidity. And what I see going on right now with these attorney generals signing on with this ridiculous lawsuit in Texas is willful stupidity. Part of being a dude, part of being a guy, and I can't speak for any other gender or anything like that because I'm not them. Eventually you come around to the idea and you don't like it. And we weren't really raised this way. It was given lip service. We weren't raised this way. That sometimes you got to do something for the greater good. Sometimes you got to think about something other than yourself. And in my estimation, these attorney generals from these particular states they're afraid of Donald Trump tweeting about them. They are afraid of being primaried. They're afraid of losing elections. They're afraid of losing power. So they're joining on in a ridiculous lawsuit that only contributes to seeds of doubt and dissension in our country involving our election process. We've worked a long, hard time to have free and fair elections. A long, hard time to have free and fair elections. The idea of elections was a revolutionary idea. The idea of one person, one vote. We've gone from only white people could vote to African Americans could vote, but they made it impossible to vote, to women being able to vote, okay, to really working hard through a big chunk of the 20th century to make sure that everyone who has the right to vote can vote, and we're kind of crawling backwards a little bit. So this is willful stupidity, and I don't like it. So hopefully this will be put to bed rather soon, and we'll be able to move on with normal controversies like, is there really a Bigfoot? No, there is a Bigfoot. I know there is. And that one actor with the gerbil, that's a true story. Same people that believe in Bigfoot believe in all these conspiracy theories. Sullivan, you had something you wanted to add? Come in the camera if you're going to add something.
I have actually two things. I believe in Bigfoot.
You believe in Bigfoot?
And this guy even did something very stupid.
What did I do that was stupid?
You said yes to keeping Ray.
Should we show him Ray? Because he's grown a little bit. Can you bring him over here and I can pick him up? Ray the Wonder Cat?
Yeah.
All right. For those of you who don't know the story, Ray the Wonder Cat was my wife was walking by a dumpster. I don't know what she was doing hanging out by dumpsters. I got to be honest with you. She crawled into a dumpster. I don't know. We never got around in the conversation to what were you doing in a dumpster? But
maybe she was looking for Burger King.
She was looking for Burger King, which is a dumpster's a good place for that. That's Ray the Wonder Cat. He doesn't like being held right now. Very good. You can see him on YouTube.
Just a little close up.
She found him in a dumpster when he was less than a day old. We brought him to life, and now he won't give me no rest.
Ow! And he keeps scratching me. I don't know why, though.
He's scratching you because he wants you to put him down.
And he keeps trying to bite my neck.
Yeah, anyway, you've seen Ray the Wonder Cat. I told you I don't like willful stupidity. We told you we won't be on air tomorrow. And also that we're going to have a New Year's Eve show that you'll be able to see live or on Zoom. Oddly enough, the New Year's Eve show will be on New Year's Eve. I don't have any knickknacks or anything today. I have been going through a box of comic books that I got about 4 or 5 years ago. I'm sitting in a restaurant called Panasco's. It's now defunct in Maricopa, Arizona. When a guy who's now my insurance agent put up on Facebook, a buddy of mine's moving. He doesn't have room for all this stuff. He's giving away boxes of comic books if anyone's interested. I wasn't a comic book collector, but Shirley and I sit around on a rare Saturday when we had a lot of free time, and I said, that's right in Maricopa. And I went by, and the guy had already given away several boxes. But I got a file box of comics that now we're going through that I think is going to make me a fortune.
A banker's box.
A banker's box, not a file box, a banker's box. So I don't have any of them in front of me right now to show you, but you really probably don't want to see them anyway. We are still accepting your not requests, your submissions for greatest songs of the rock era that start out with a drum solo. I've got a boatload of them so far. Let me see if I can find the. Hold on, I'm going to look. Yes, I do. And I still got to go through all the comment sections for the last few days of songs that start with a drum solo for the number one song of the rock era that starts with a drum solo. We've got Soul Sacrifice by Santana, Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan, When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin, What You Need by In Excess, We Will Rock You by Queen, Strange by Aorta, which is that's really rare. There's only a few of us that know that band. I'm one of the few that actually owns an Aorta album. And Take the Money and Run by Steve Miller. There's other ones that I could add, and I got to go back. I think there's a few I missed as I went through the comment sections. But if you have your favorite song, not just, hey, I know this song, your favorite song that starts out with a drum solo, please put it in the comment section, and we'll add it up. And when we get about 30 of them, and I think we can easily get to 30, we will then we'll winnow it down to the 10 best, and then the number one song that starts with a drum solo. And to give you an idea what I'm talking about, one of the greatest drum solo songs of the mid-'60s was a song called Wipeout, which was an instrumental, except it had one lyric, the word wipeout at the very beginning. The guy goes, wipeout, and then that song doesn't count because it doesn't start with a drum solo. It doesn't start with a drum solo. So choose and choose wisely. Your favorite song in the rock era, and we'll go all the way back to we'll go back to like Elvis and Bill Haley in the Comets and Little Richard and all of that, all the way up into the early mid-'90s. Okay, and that's kind of when the rock era ended. The rock era probably ended not too long after the grunge movement. Not that great rock isn't still being made, but as it being the dominant force in American popular music, it pretty much was replaced by rap by the early to mid-'90s as the dominant force in American music. I mean, there were certainly bands that came along after that. Green Day, Sublime. I don't know when Sublime came along, but these were bands of the kind of like in the 90s. But pretty much by 95, I would say rap had taken over completely. So rock era from somewhere in the mid-'50s to the mid-'90s, your favorite drum solo song. I'm going to put Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin on the list. Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. Because it starts out with a killer drum solo. I know something about that drum solo. I know that iconic drum solo, because it is unique, was not created by John Bonham or Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin did a lot of that, where they played other people's music or kind of mixed it in and changed things around. My generation kind of let that go because musically we thought of them as so wonderful. There was the recent libel case where the band Spirit sued Led Zeppelin, saying that Stairway to Heaven was actually their song. If you listen to the two side by side, they sound very similar. The issue is Led Zeppelin was that monster that could not be stopped. It was Godzilla stomping through the streets. Matter of fact, they do a cool version of Godzilla. So when they did something, it was so iconically, uniquely them that it was hard to argue anything about the ethics of where they got the tune. So much like they may have heard the tape, because Spirit was opening for them. Spirit was a great band. They may have heard a tape by Spirit. Supposedly they played it for them, and then later on did what they did. They also did that with the drum solo on Rock and Roll, but we would never know it from the original rhythm and blues song because it just never got pushed enough. Interestingly enough, I will tell you this as well. I don't want to burst any bubbles here. The iconic guitar solo, that hard rock riff at the beginning of the Beatles' Revolution, is from an old rhythm and blues song as well. I actually read something Bob Dylan wrote about it. He goes, I'm sure John Lennon totally forgot that when he was in high school, he heard this at a party or something, and it slipped his mind, and he put it in here. But here's the original version. I found it on a CD of songs that influenced Bob Dylan. Anyway, all right, I went on and on about all that. Let's get to the music, okay? And let's talk about what we're going to talk about today music-wise. Oh, by the way, real quick, I know I already mentioned JP's. If you're interested in great shows this weekend, safe, socially distant, mask required, but you're still going to have tons of fun in a really cool club ran by a really cool guy, then I have no recommendations. No, I do. And that is Mark Cordes, two of my favorite people in the entertainment business in the greater Phoenix area. Jim Perry and Mark Cortez are going to be gracing the stage at JP's Comedy Club this weekend. Mark Cortez is been one of the funniest guys in America for several decades. A true icon in my mind's eye. We're fortunate enough to have him for 5 shows this weekend at JP's Comedy Club. So looking for something fun, high-quality comedy going down to JP. So I thought I'd mention Mark. All right, so we have been dealing with this week 2 CDs only in our music recommendation. And one is, of course, Inside Llewyn Davis, and the other one is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Those are both movies that were written and produced and directed by the Coen brothers, Joel and Ethan Coen. They've done more in the last 20 years to keep great American folk country music alive than almost anyone else. Matter of fact, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou almost jump-started the Americana movement. Americana is a country without the hate. So we're working from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou today. And we're going to work with the song You Are My Sunshine. Okay? And there's so many versions of You Are My Sunshine now that hundreds of people literally have recorded this song. And you know that song. He was used in a cracker commercial at one time. You know the song. That it'd be hard to tell Shirley which one to pick, but if you can find the one from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, the version of You Are My Sunshine, that's the one we want you guys to listen to today. You Are My Sunshine is an interesting song. It came along in the 1930s. I think it was done originally by a group called the Rice Brothers and the Pine Ridge Boys, but a guy named Jimmy Davis for many years was credited with authorship, although some people say he never claimed it. So Jimmy Davis bought the song from someone, from a songwriter, and as was the practice in those days, and for many years after that, oftentimes, Jimmy Davis didn't put his name on the song since he owned the song. So many people thought Jimmy Davis had written the song. And why do I mention Jimmy Davis today? Because some of us think that we live in an insane era and the country is bigger, better, stronger, meaner, crazier, more wonderful, more exciting, more scary, with more opportunity and more chances to screw up than it ever has been in history. We are a constantly growing, evolving, growling, bellowing, singing, whispering country. It's what we are. And we tend to think that we live in a crazy time because we elected what basically was, most people knew him as a star of a reality show at NBC for about 14 years, Donald Trump. Now, some of us knew him from beforehand. Donald Trump was like a male Kardashian for years. It's always in the news, and you were never quite sure why. Real estate developer, Don. Why is a real estate developer in the news? What makes him interesting? But charismatic guy, interesting guy. I never liked him, okay? But he worked that cult of personality all the way into being president of the United States. And let me say something about this. There's a lot of people that run for political office are boring people. A lot of people that run governments are boring people. But almost all of them that I have known in my life, the majority of them are people who wanted to work in government and make government work. Now, we have enough gadflies, conmen, and pitchmen floating around, enough people who are ran by other factions and groups that put money behind them, that we get a good amount of sharp weirdos. But it's always been like that. Jimmy Davis wasn't just the guy who popularized You Are My Sunshine. Jimmy Davis was the governor of Mississippi. He was known as the singing governor. The singing governor. Okay? And he was a country singer who became governor. You got to remember, states like Mississippi and Louisiana in those days were ran by like one or two firms. One or two large, usually agricultural concerns. Okay? There wasn't a lot of industry in Mississippi except for cotton, except for agriculture. And Mississippi, Louisiana, and those other states were usually ran by one or two large companies, and they would put up who they wanted. And one of the people that got put up and won was the singing governor, Jimmy Davis, who won and was governor of Mississippi based on the popularity of his personality, the singing governor, Jimmy Davis. Now, was he a good governor or a bad governor? He probably wasn't a great governor. He probably knew where his bread was buttered, and he probably didn't fuck with that toast too damn much. Okay, did the common man benefit under Jimmy Davis? Probably not. But did Jimmy Davis make the common man feel good? Did Jimmy Davis make a lot of people forget their troubles for 2 or 3 minutes? Did Jimmy Davis help popularize a song that kind of gives a warmth in people's hearts, and just one of those little melodies, almost like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, that are so simple that they are astounding, yet stay with you forever? Yes, he did. And for that reason, we like Jimmy Davis. If Donald Trump would write one song, even closely related to You Are My Sunshine, I'd give him a nod, but he hasn't. Jimmy Davis, a compromised man, a showbiz character who was able to take the governor's office in Mississippi at least twice, I think 2 separate times, gave us You Are My Sunshine. Okay, and today I'm giving you You Are My Sunshine. Now, if you only know it from a Nabisco cracker commercial, or if you only know it in passing, or something that your grandma used to hum when she was doing dishes when you were a kid, give the song a second look. Great artists, the Beach Boys, Johnny Cash, on and on and on. Emmylou Harris, countless great artists and musicians have seen the beauty and the simplicity of You Are My Sunshine. One of those wonderful songs, the melody makes you feel wonderful, and the lyrics are so sad. And that way, it's a little bit of the blues, although it's a lot of the origins of country. All right, that's our show for today. We're going to wrap up now. I got a comic book collection to go through. I'm doing a beginning class tonight at 6 p.m., December 21st and 22nd. I got free intros for my comedy workshops. You're sitting out there going, hey, I don't want to be a comedian. And I don't blame you. But it's not a calling, it's a disease. But if you've ever thought about, if you ever have to make one speech in your entire life, let me say this. And everybody has to make one speech in their entire life. Okay? And you dread the thought. You should consider my workshops, because I'll help you get over that stage fright. I'll show you and teach you how to be able to do it so that you can express what's in your mind and your heart and your soul using your words in a way that will make people glad they listen to you. I got free intros December 21st and 22nd. Check out my website, comedyschools.com, to find out how. All right. Otherwise than that, I will see all of you, not on tomorrow, not on Saturday. I'm back Sunday. All right. Thank you. And let me say to all of you that you are my sunshine. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Mm-hmm.